I sit out here every evening now, watching the sun drop down over the fields, and the air gets still and gold, and everything feels quiet enough that I can almost hear my own heart beating. The crickets start up in the grass, and sometimes a bird calls once or twice and then goes silent. I sit in my old chair and I let the memories come because, at my age, there's no use pretending they aren't there. I've spent too many years pretending. I was born in a small town in the middle of nowhere, one of those places where everybody knew your name and the church bell told the time better than any clock. We were Catholic, like nearly everyone else around. Sunday was the center of everything. You put on your clean dress, brushed your hair till it shone, and you walked down the road with your family to the white church with the tall steeple. The air smelled like cut grass and candle wax. I was a quiet little girl. My mama said I had soft hands and a good heart. I liked to help the nuns arrange flowers on the altar. I loved the smell of the lilies and the wax melting down the tall candles. When I was about 15, we got a new priest at the parish. He was young, handsome, with that calm voice that made everyone lean in when he talked. Folks said he had a gift with people, especially with the children. He was kind, you know, the kind that looks you right in the eye and makes you feel seen. I believed every word he said. He talked about love, forgiveness, about how God watches over the little ones. I thought he was the closest thing to heaven I would ever meet. He told me I had a gentle soul, that I should serve God, maybe become a nun someday. I remember feeling proud, special even. I started spending more time at the church after school, helping with the candles, cleaning the pews, whatever needed doing. But then came the day that changed everything. I won't go into detail. All I'll say is that he took something from me that didn't belong to him. It left a hole so deep I didn't know how to speak anymore. I remember walking home that day and the world looked the same. The fields, the clouds, but it all felt wrong, like the colors had gone dull. When I tried to tell someone, they told me I must have misunderstood. They said a priest wouldn't do such a thing, that maybe I was confused or trying to cause trouble. I was just a child. He was a man of God. Who was going to believe me? So I stopped talking. I went through my days like a ghost. I still went to church because my mama made me, but I sat in the back and kept my eyes on the floor. I remember thinking God must be angry with me. Years went by. I finished school, moved away, got a job in the city. I didn't go to church anymore. Every time I heard the sound of a bell, my stomach turned. I tried to build a life. I married, had children, tried to be a good mother. But something in me was always quiet, always holding its breath. My husband used to say I was distant, like I was always somewhere else. He wasn't wrong. There was a part of me that never came home from that little white church. When the children were small, I wanted them to know faith, but I couldn't walk back into a church. I told myself I was too busy, but the truth was I was scared. I was angry too. I didn't know where God was that day or why he didn't stop it. So I built my own kind of faith, small and private. I prayed in the garden. I talked to God when I hung clothes on the line. I looked for Him in the sunrise and in my babies' faces. That's where I found Him. Not in stained glass and Latin prayers, but in the simple, ordinary things. When I was older, my husband passed away. The children grew up and moved on, and for a long time it was just me and the house and the memories I'd tried to bury. One night I was watching the news, and there it was. Stories about priests, about other girls, women, men, all coming forward. My hands started shaking. It was like hearing my own story echoing from the television. For the first time, I realized I wasn't alone. It wasn't my fault. The shame I'd been carrying all my life started to crack open. After that, I began to talk. First to myself, then to a counselor, then to my daughter. She cried with me, held my hand, told me she believed me. I can't tell you how much that meant. For 60 years, no one had said those words to me. I thought maybe my voice didn't matter anymore, but it did. Speaking it out loud was like letting sunlight into a room that had been dark forever. People ask me sometimes if I still believe in God. I tell them yes, but not the way I used to. I don't believe in the God that hides behind robes or rules. I believe in the God that sits quietly with broken people. The God that never needed a church to find me. Now when I sit here on my porch and the evening light falls across the fields, I think about that young girl I was, the one who wanted to serve God, who loved the smell of lilies and candle wax. I wish I could reach back through time and hold her, tell her that she would survive, that she would grow old and find peace. I'd tell her that what happened was never her fault, that people can wear holy clothes and still do unholy things. I've learned that forgiveness isn't about pretending it didn't happen. It's about setting yourself free from the weight of it. I don't forgive him because he deserves it. I forgive because I'm tired of carrying his sin on my shoulders. My back is too old and my heart has worked too hard to stay bitter. Sometimes I still go sit in the back pew of a small chapel on weekdays when no one's around. I don't take communion. I just sit and breathe. I light a candle for that little girl, for all the ones like her, and I whisper a prayer that they'll find their voices sooner than I did. The flame flickers, and for a moment I feel something warm that isn't pain. Maybe that's grace. I reckon that's all any of us can hope for in the end. To make peace with the pieces of ourselves that were broken, to tell the truth before the sun sets for the last time. I sit here watching the light fade, and I let the evening hold me the way faith used to. The crickets sing, the air cools, and I feel a kind of stillness that I think must be the beginning of heaven.